Press the wrong button straight off the bat. That's a good start. Thank you for listening to or watching the Upland Down Under Podcast. Tonight's show's recording live on Thursday, the 11th of April at 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Pardon me. On tonight's show, we're going to catch up on the Upland market floors, of course, check in on the neighbourhood ratings for April, kind of. And we've got Blossom Season Pass drop number 2. Blossom Season Gamified Earnings to take a look at, and what's going on in San Francisco. Something weird is going on with the market floors in the Genesis City. What's this all about? And is it happening anywhere else? Main topic for tonight's show is, of course, taking a look at the Sparklet Share and Build Airdrop system, which is now live. I'll remind you about the new Upland Podcast series I'm working on, and we'll take a look at some of the entries that have already come through to go into the running to win prizes worth 250,000 cold hard UPX, as I keep saying. Have you got an entry in yet? Well, why the bloody hell not? Do you hate UPX? Have you got too much of it? Well, you can send some my way if you got too much, and I'll give it away. Anyway, we've got a couple of QIPS statements to dive into. The first is about Upland's GUI, and the other is about the referral bonus task in Blossom Season. And of course, we'll take a look at another Upland community member spotlight, care of the Dynamic Node Builders team. And we'll give away 35,000 UPX and a Samurai Aquatics map asset. But that's not all. Swarley has got details to share later in the show on how you can get an entry in for another huge Spark staking prize campaign that will be run and won in a couple of weeks. All that more on this, the Upland Down Under Podcast. If you're wondering how you can take part in the live recordings of this very podcast, I dropped the link to the live podcast in the NBA server Thursday nights at about 6:45 p.m. AEST. Let's get into the Breaking Badly news, as we always do, and take a look at what's currently happening and some of the Upland market floor stataroonies. I'd like to say I'm getting better at sharing these, but I'm not. Anyway, so yes, number 36, April 11th. What's happening? Transaction volume, 90-day average, bit of green on there, up 0.6. And the trading volume, up 0.6. That's nice. Unique active wallets down 0.5. Was flirting towards 60,000, now dropping back again, 59,590. And we had 2,298 properties minted through the week. City stats, floor markups, still, to be expected, lots of 30s. What's our lowest? 30, yeah. LaSalle has just gone ballistic. 444,444 still on the UPX to buy for and selling 95. And what else is sticking out? Rutherford is looking pretty good. 198% USD sales there. And everywhere else a bit all over the place. I'm out of the USD sale for at least a couple of weeks. I'm trying to save my UPX balance back up towards the 5 mil for the next city release. And plus I got that 250,000 to give away that I got to save up for. So I'm just taking a break from that at the moment. Anyhow, if you are still involved in that game, what's your best bet? Well, your best bet at the moment is in Stockton, buy for $4,496 and sell for $3. Or Trenton, buy for $4,765 UPX, sell for $3. And Rio, buy for $4,500, sell for $3. $3 floors, always a tough one there. Because, of course, you're battling the FSA agents who can move stuff at a much better markup. Anyhow, worst one is LaSalle, and other bad ones is Berlin. I played with that a bit. I was doing battle with somebody else. I was selling up the last of my USD flips there, so that kind of helped push that down. Was $9 last week, down to $8. And on the flip side, the UPX was 22,500, up almost 11% now to just under 25,000. That always happens if there's a battle between a couple of people who are doing the buy for UPX and sell for USD deal. And Porto as well, not a real great option there. Buy for 9,500, sell for 3. Any other major percentages sticking out? Bakersfield up on both the UPX and USD, 12.5 on the UPX and 10 on the USD. Birmingham up a whopping almost 20% on the UPX, was just under 10,000, now just under 12,000. Buenos Aires taking a hit on the UPX, same in Chicago. Gosh, look at that. Chicago was 6,777, down to 5,800. What do we got? Kansas, LV, Las Vegas, and London. A little bit up on the USD, and then a bit here, there, all over the place. What was the new release? What was that? Bermuda. Just under 180,000 last week. Up. Wow, that's interesting. Up 16.7% to 210,000. Well, I guess that makes sense because Swarley, you were one of the people where you didn't get to mint a full set, did you? You didn't have a full set, or you did and you sold one or something?
No, I had a full set. I actually had one extra, which I sold and
Oh, that's
almost
right.
broke even on. So I was really lucky on
Nice.
commuters. Probably the luckiest release I've ever had.
That's right. Yeah, so that's with that in mind, there would have been people that got one or two, and they would have pushed the UPX price up there to get that extra one for the generic collection. So that's up 16.7%. Of course, there was no USD figure on those last week, but USD floor at the moment's just under $80, which is that's pretty hefty. Buy for 210, sell for 80. 88% might be worth looking at. But I'm out of the game, so don't look at it, Ben. San Francisco, that's another one. The floor, I was doing battle with the floor there. At one stage, we were down in the 695 range. So if you're wanting to buy in San Francisco and you can use US dollars, keep an eye on it, because when we go into battle there, it does tend to drop quite quickly and quite substantially. And what else we got? Sao Paulo down 28%. And what's happening in Tokyo? Up on the UPX and the USD. All right, now I said we're going to kind of look at the neighbourhood ratings, kind of. Well, I'm just about ready to give up on this whole system, because it certainly appears that Upland has. Like I said last week, there's been no update on this since Hell's Kitchen, way back in September last year. And we're bloody 2 weeks into April, and they can't even update the bloody leaderboard. Come on, Upland, this is slack as. It's just not good enough. Like, holy hell. 2 weeks in and still got Midtown Terrace up there. First of all, that's not very fair to Quailwood and the other node area or neighbourhoods that are doing battle. And, there's no reason you can't announce Midtown Terrace. Okay, you won the collection. Congratulations. Update this bloody thing. How long would it take for somebody to patch that in? Probably about 5 minutes max, I reckon, to update all that. Pull your finger out, Upland. Give the community a bit of love. I mean, you can't even begin to imagine how much work is going on or has gone on in all of these projects that are here. A little bit of reciprocated love in this direction would go a very long way, please. And that's
So
my
has
kind of
there been no
rant on it.
acknowledgement at all from Upland that Midtown won last month?
Nope. Nothing.
Okay, 'cause I saw a few Twitter posts and stuff, so I figured that must have been announced somewhere and I missed it, but...
Nope. No, it was YK2012. He put out a tweet about it. A few other people reached out, and I had a few DMs come through, and a few people tagged me and things to say congratulations. It's kind of a weird feeling, actually, because we gave up on pushing for it quite a while back, as I said, and it's just really disheartening to see that Upland just apparently, for whatever reason, just does not give a toss about putting any time, attention into this whole system, which is just bizarre. I don't get it at all. So anyway, that's my little whine. That's my little rant. Now, what else are we up to? Oh, I should have stayed on. We had the Blossom Season Pass 2. Now, I don't know if we want to put out there. Maybe you could just give us an overview. Swarley, you said that's old mate Elslack, the vulgar Uplander. He went on a bit of a rant about it. Can you give us the 5-second overview of what he was talking about? He's not in, otherwise I'd ask him to.
He didn't hold back this week, I think. Like, it's probably the most vulgar I've seen him be about it. And to be fair, I'm 100% behind him. I keep hoping that they're going to get better and introduce more stuff and make it more exciting. And each week we just keep getting let down. So this week was just simply a little backdrop for the property cards and a backdrop for and a groovy baby or something like that for the words. Like, what's that got to do with this season? But anyway, it's neither here or there. But my other thought is, like, it seems like the only reason really to be buying these season passes now is to get the badge, which I personally don't care about. But like I was saying before we kicked off, I just think that's now cheapening the badge system for those that have worked hard for the last 5 years to get as many badges as they have. Not mentioning any names except for Team L, but to think that people are just catching up real quick now because of this, it's getting so easy to get a badge now. I'm not happy. I'm not sure if I'm going to buy it next season or not. Like, I was pretty confident I'd just keep sticking with it to support Upland, but I'm starting to get frustrated myself.
Yeah, what I don't get, we're looking at that now. If you listen on the Spotify, we're looking at Upland's official video of it. And if we play that through, so we've got this property card background, Serenity. So that's one of the things you've got in the week 2 drop. Yeah, the blossoms. Okay, that looks pretty cool. And you've got a Block Explorer overlay, the words that says groovy baby. I guess that's going for the whole, hippies, flower child kind of thing, which makes sense. But, and then that was the week before, wasn't it? That one that I just showed. So,
no,
correct me if I'm wrong, but
there
in
is a
the frost
drop.
season, yeah, that one, but that was last week's reward, right? So for this week 2 reward, you've got this one, and you've got the groovy baby. Well, the frost season, there were several of these came through for the weeks. Why is there only one? Like, how much time would it take to put that together? Why wouldn't you have 3 or 4? Give it more customization. Like, if this is the only one for this week, well, everybody's going to have the same thing. That's kind of seems pretty boring, piss poor. Have 3 or 4 different options for every week's drop. It's not like it's going to cost anybody any money. It's like, would have taken 10 seconds to do this in MS Paint. Just seems weird.
Maybe they're working on Twitter posts. I don't know.
I mean, even this one, yeah, sure, it's a blossom. There's no reason you couldn't have had 3 or 4 of these for the week. We expect more will come through, but, people are, we always joke $7 isn't a lot of money, but if you can see what you're getting is actually going down in customization, like the options are getting less and less, well, yeah, there's going to be less and less people buying them, which should be going the other way. That would make sense to me. But yes, it just makes me, I was going to say thankful, but not thankful, but it makes me realise that I did well to skip it out last week. Go on, Elslack is in the house. We were just talking about you.
I saw somewhere during the week, I think it was, I can't remember who mentioned it, but they hinted that perhaps in the future we could see the season passes tied with the gamified earnings, basically needing a season pass to participate in that program. And if they did that, that would be a double strike for me. Like, I'm not happy with the way it's going at the moment, but to force your hand at the same time, I think that would be a real bad move.
Yeah, all that's going to do really is punish new players, really.
Exactly right.
I could flip a property that I buy for UPX and get the $7. That's no issue. But yeah, for the new players trying to get established, it's a different story.
If you're earning above 30,000 UPX a month, it's in your interest to have the pass. But anyway, cross that bridge if and when we need to.
All right, now there has been a few quirks that have shown up with this whole Blossom season gamified earnings as well. Tony-san, I believe, in general today was saying that he's been marked off with a whole bunch of these as yes, but he hasn't done any of them, like mint the properties and all sorts of stuff. So I don't know if he's pulling our leg or what was going on, but there seems to be a few quirks there. And one of the things that you got to watch out for, this also popped up in the conversation we're having today, was the login for 7 days straight one is a bit of a weird one. Because it's tied to your Spark collection, your daily login thing. Like, this says that I haven't yet achieved the login for 7 days, where obviously I have. I haven't missed a single day, but because it's must be hacky coding. It's the hackiest possible way that you could do it. Is it gets triggered when you collect that final, when you get your Spark reward. So it has to be the full 7 days and then collect it. So I must have, maybe this system started it could have started 6 days before I collected my earnings. But when I collected my free UPX drop, or whatever you want to call it, then that set me back to 0. So now I have to go another full 7 days and do the collection to get this to turn to yes. So I don't know, that seems a bit hacky. And if that system is going to play out with the 25 days as well, then might get a bit tight on the back end there, trying to make sure that you get all those done.
No, they're not tied together. No, the 25-day one, if you haven't missed a day, will show up around the 25th, 26th, somewhere around there.
Okay. Yeah.
But you're 100% right with the 7-day one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hacky as. So I managed to do everything that I need to do. I'm golden for the next season already. I minted 3 props, buy 5 props. I was doing that anyway. That was an easy one to do. 7 days, I'll eventually get that. Spawn 5 standards. There's no reason you can't do that. I mean, doesn't even say you got to win them.
I haven't even looked at mine.
Yeah, visit 3 Metaventures. That's easy enough to do. So, you know, I don't really understand why people are still getting their undies or their knickers in a twist about it all. It's pretty easy to do. But yeah, you just got to be a bit patient. Nobody, by the looks, according to this leaderboard, nobody's achieved the full kit and caboodle yet, because obviously the 25-day one isn't there. But let's see, what have we got? Trouble 001. Never heard of that player. What do they got? Yes. Log in. Of course, I haven't got that one. Complete 5 different models. No. Spawn 5 treasures, and the referral bonuses. That was the big one, wasn't it?
Yeah,
and a referral bonus. No. Lots of no's there. Yeah. Bit to discuss on that a bit later on as well. So how's everyone else going with that? Did you get all your boxes ticked?
As I said, I'm not even looking at it. I'll easily get 5 without trying, and the referral bonus, I don't see how I could possibly get it without doing something a bit dodgy, so I'm not even going to look at it.
Yes. All right, now let me jump on over here to here, and I'll close that old one down. So I said, as we got kicked off, that there's something weird going on with the market floors in SF. I found this the other day, so it's been there for at least a couple of days. So if you go to SF, basically what I do if I'm looking to sell for USD is I make sure I'm in the full screen. You don't want Oakland in the picture because it's going to jank out the numbers, but you make sure you got the full map of San Francisco. You hit the market button there, and you can see what are the cheapest USD properties to sell for, or whatever. There's, what do we got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's 14 properties there that are listed for sale in UPX, from as the highest one's 7,800 and as low as 3,250. So I was like, okay, well, let's click on that and see what we can do here. It's listed for 3,250, 582 Orizaba Ave. It does say that this property is not available. If you try and buy it, it does just crap out. Like it says minting on the blockchain. I'm not going to do that, but yeah. It craps out, and you think, okay, so there's something balked there, and you do Swarley's little trick. You click off to see it, but then the property just disappears. What? So this might be one of those ones where the account's been jailed or, banned or whatever the hell, or they've deleted their account and there's a ghost of a property still there, but suddenly they're showing up in the market stats. Here's another one, 79 Ashton Ave, 3,250. You can't buy it. If you click off it, it's disappeared. So I don't know if this signifies maybe these properties are going to come back on board or at some stage. Don't know what's happened there. I haven't been able to see if it's anywhere else. I tried to have a click around in some other areas, but it was pretty hard to see. If you go Oakland, hard to see there because there's USD on the floor. I did play around a few bits and pieces in different cities, but yeah, it definitely sticks out in San Francisco. Something weird going on there.
It doesn't come up. Sorry, it doesn't come up on UpX land either, so you can't see if there's any history. So I don't think it is a jail property, because there'd have to be a history on it if there was, wouldn't it?
If you take the API to get some information on the properties, there is no owner username. There is an EOS ID. If you go back to 2020, the transactions, March 29th in 2020, you see it's user Malt Wizzy with one of the EOS accounts. Bought the properties for 4,300 UpX, and now last transaction on blockchain is April 23 in 2020. So there were some sales maybe, and this property is don't know what to think about it, but they are not marked as a jailed player or something. It's just missing the username, and maybe this triggers something in the GUI to say I don't know, so not available.
Some jailed players that go ahead and delete their account shows up as no username, so that could be the case there.
Maybe.
Yeah, I just wonder why they suddenly popped up in the market data, and then, like I said, you click on it and then it disappears. So maybe they're playing around with something on the back end, like trying to work towards filtering to get them back up mintable. Don't know.
Let's hope they are.
Hopefully so. It's a weird one. Anyhow, that's what stuck out to me.
They aren't visible on the map. If you scroll to the place where their properties should be, they don't show. So maybe it's something with the filtering. Maybe some developer put a bit work on it and just need to jump back to Sparklet to fix something on the Twitter stuff or so, and didn't get it finished, this job.
Forgot to press the button, perhaps.
Yeah, the one developer who works for Upland.
Oh boy. Yes. All right. So I pegged. Of course, we're going to cover the share and build airdrop as the main topic. Makes sense. That's the biggest news that's happened this week on what has been a pretty slow news week. Upland put this out, of course, the announcement, and then everybody was over there getting crazy on Twitter to, like and comment and retweet and all the rest of the stuff. If you've been living under a rock and you don't know what all this is about, you should get onto it lickety-split, because, the rewards on here, I would assume they're going to be pretty substantial for what is not much effort at all. So if you follow that announcement, or there's a link in the description of this show as well, there's a link there to go on over to the airdrop.upland.me page. Pretty easy, assuming you've got a Twitter. Click on that, make sure you sign in via your Twitter thing, and then it brings up your personal little area where you can see where you're at and what you can do. So my multiplier is currently at 7x. What do you say, Swarley? We've seen up as high as 17x.
Yeah, it's the highest I've seen, but I'm sure there's somewhat higher.
Yes, and we're currently still got 13 days left in Chapter 1. I've done everything so far as what I can, and getting closer leveling up to level 2. There's a button there, earn points, and then there's usually some info on what you have to do. Now, I found there was some quirk here where I made a comment, but when I retweeted this, I retweeted it as a quote tweet, and then I put that in, and that doesn't register. So, yeah, don't do a retweet quote thinking you're going to get the points for it. That doesn't appear to work. You actually have to just retweet it, and then you have to also comment on it. So I've been doing all of that just to make sure that I get it ticked off. And there is a bit of a delay on when you do that and by the time it gets registered. So just be aware of that one. How's everyone else going with that? Seems to be a pretty straightforward system.
Yeah, I'd like it to be a little bit more complex, where you put your own tweets, pushing it and trying and get engagements rather than just reposting their ones. But, it is what it is. Maybe they'll do that in the future. Who knows?
Yes. So my 7x multiplier is based on my stats, where this account that I've got much older accounts, but this one was April 2021, and when this system went live, I had under 3,000 followers. I've since gone over, but interestingly, that hasn't yet changed my multiplier. So I'm not sure how can you boost your multiplier once it's been set. I know people have been talking about how theirs has increased.
Yeah, I went from 3 to 4, and I went from 22 followers to 200 and something followers. So I don't know if there's a threshold there, but I think the bottom line, I think the biggest factor is age of account, which, I resisted joining Twitter for many, many decades, figuring there was no point to it. Now I regret that.
Yes. Yeah, so, I'm not sure. I would have thought moving from under 2,000 to over 2,000, I assumed that was going to boost their multiplier, but apparently not. So, bad luck for me. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward. That Upland has also been doing these things where it's not tied to that specific, earn the airdrop thing, but they've been doing a whole. Lisette's been posting a bunch of things where trying to get the system out into the eyeballs of a bunch of different people. They're kind of, I'm not necessarily a fan of this system myself, where they'll jump onto somebody who is some kind of influencer. They'll jump onto their profile and they'll find a tweet that's loosely related to something that Upland could, attach to, and then we're just encouraged to just bomb the absolute hell out of it. Seems a bit weird, a bit greasy, but, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. I've done all of them to date, so I've been kind of just spamming this YouTube channel as well to try and get some love back on that as well. So, I don't know. Keep an eye on that one too. That's usually dropped in the announcements channel within the Upland Discord server. But yes, other than that, pretty simplified system, and we'll just keep chugging along. And that's it. As I said, it's pretty slow news week this week, so we're just going to race through all this. Thankfully, we do have a couple of QIPS to dive into. If you don't remember, QIPS stands for questions, insights, provocations, or statements that we can dive into on this show. There's a link to the Google form in the description, and if you include your in-game name in your submission, and it's used on the show, you'll win yourself some kind of prize. I did have a look through. I think we're just about tapped out on all of the ones that have come through. We got a couple of statements to dive into tonight, and that's about it. So if you want some easy UPEX, make sure you get on over and drop one in yourself, and chances are you'll get covered at least within the next couple of shows. So this week we're starting off with a suggestion, from Maui, who says, I really love the possibility to drive her car around, but like when she was feeding her totem, she misses a shortcut. Upland should let us set up our own shortcut bar with 2 to 3 shortcuts we choose ourselves, so you can adjust the GUI, the game user interface, to suit your gameplay. That'd be nice. I don't know how that'd work with the mobile situation, but any sort of customization, optimization sounds good to me. Putting it out there, if you could have a shortcut, what would it be?
I'm not sure I understand the question. What do you mean by a shortcut? Like the route driven, you mean, or just an easier way to do it?
With your clickety-clicking, with all of the tasks that you do, if there was something, press the X button to do, whatever, or F12 or something like that. I'm pretty sure that's what you mean.
Standard treasure hunt in the city you are in.
That'd be a good one. Yep. Yep. I like that one. Yep. Nothing else comes to mind? No, I don't do a lot of repetitive actions that I think I'd need. One, certainly being on mobile makes it a bit tricky as well.
A button to mark all unread messages as read.
Oh, yes, God. Wouldn't that be nice? Read all messages. Yeah. Especially when, if you've done any sort of manufacturing and you have a number of assets finishing at once and you get blitzed suddenly with, 100 messages.
And emails.
Yeah. And then you have to pay attention to not accept some sort of crap offers, no? Which
when you're just clicking through it, yeah. Yes. Yeah, or a reject offers button. That'd be nice. I think any sort of system like that would be good. I think that's very wishful thinking, though. We can't even get property management tools, and we're 5 years into this thing, so yeah, it sounds nice, but I don't like our chances. And
if we ask for it in the general chat, Squire Musa will tell us that it's on their list for the next improvement. Don't know what they said. Eventually, soon, maybe in the future.
Sometimes, maybe never. Yes. So I don't like the chances, unfortunately. So that was from Maui. We've got another one this week from Angry Ursia, and it's another kind of statement. Angriasa says, I suspect referral bonuses will be a recurring task in Blossom season for rewards, and as such, this season will be one fewer players achieve max yield for Genesis season. So he's kind of speculating that this referral bonus task that's part of Blossom season is going to carry on over to other seasons. I think we've already kind of touched on that. I know I definitely won't be looking to do it. Even if you are looking to do it, it's pretty difficult. I mean, anybody that's probably established has already had those conversations. I don't know, unless you get out there and just spam away.
It'd be difficult to do it legitimately unless you've got a good platform where you're addressing new eyes. I mean, there's a lot of shows out there producing great quality content, but they're all to current players, so obviously you can't use your referral code there. Now, if you want to be one of these multi-accounters and just go start a new account and chuck $5 in or something, done. But I'm not wasting $5. I already waste $7 in the season pass. I'm not wasting another $5 just to get an extra 0.5%. I don't think it's worth it, so I'll just steer clear of it.
Yeah, I wonder, like, obviously, whether that was intentional or not, that coming into the task list pretty much wipes out a significant chunk of players from being able to get that next level of, dividend rewards. I wonder if that was a deliberate thing, like if they looked at the numbers and thought, hang on a minute, there's more people who got that 15.2 or whatever it is than they were expecting, and they thought, all right, we'll throw a little spanner in the works here.
I think that's 100% the case. I think they were surprised, and even I was surprised how easy it was to get all the tasks done. So we went from, I think, 11 or 12 tasks last season to 15 this season. I think they figured the Spark ones building the properties might have been a bit of a bugbear for some players, but with Spark, Spark, what do you call it, rental and whatnot, I don't think it's that hard. So I think that's exactly what they've thought this season around, just to make it a little bit harder, just to get one or
maybe I think they are doing some calculations about saying, okay, we want to pay out in an average of maybe 10% instead of the 15, around 15 we get before all these changes, and they take the first season and see maybe because so many reach the goal to get their earnings back to the former value. So let's change a bit the missions and see how we go down now. Because if you do nothing, you get the 4 point something, 4.9 or what the base earnings is now.
7, I think it is.
Or 4.7 or something, 4.1.
Oh,
something
the base one,
I'm not going down to, hopefully. not in the next seasons when they... I think they will start increasing the difficulty to reach the two goals. Even maybe sometime in the future, it wouldn't be too easy to get the 5 done to go back to 14.7. I think it will balance out at some time if they see the whole earnings everyone gets, and then we will see where we go.
Yeah, maybe like the last one, they saw that too many people got it, so they put this spanner in. Maybe they'll see that not enough people got it, so they might play around with it.
Yeah, maybe in overall the percentage lowered because there are many people complaining they don't get their 14.7, so there are many people who are putting the average down, but there are also many people who get the 15.1 because the tasks were too easy. Or not so hard, not too easy, but not so hard if you're willing to spend some affix to buy a collection property or something like this to get it done. So I think it will adjust from season to season. And on the one hand, hopefully we get it into the in-game mission center. On the other hand, hey, I can sell my service. Huh?
Yeah, I mean, well, they said that was coming. If that's not here by next season, there'll be more questions asked. Well, what the bloody hell have you been doing? We do need an in-game check.
First?
Totems, oh god.
Have we just totally forgotten about them? Like, they just... We'll come back to them in 10 years' time and go, oh, what happened to totems?
They only said 5 cycles, not that they are all in the same year. Maybe we every year get one cycle in January.
I mean, no doubt they're so busy with the Sparklet airdrop system, and they're going to be busy getting prepared for Genesis Week, etc. So, I mean, I would not be surprised to see that if we're not going to see anything with totems until after Genesis Week. I mean, that'd be crazy, but it wouldn't surprise me.
It wouldn't surprise me too if we get a new mission in the next season to say, hey, feed your totem. and everybody, oh shit, we forget to activate it last week. And then they say, oh, no. So you won't get your full earnings.
Have to wait and see. Anyhow, cheers for that, Maui and Angry Ursio. You both earned yourself 10,000 UPX after fees. As I said, it's pretty thin on the ground there, so get yourself one in. And if you put your in-game name as well, you will get yourself some kind of prize, no doubts. Right, moving on. In this week's Getting to Know Community Members segment, care of Mesme and other members of the Dynamic Node Builders team, they're featuring Maui, who just claimed 10,000 UPX for the QIPS. And Maui's been a very long time supporter of the show. Thank you for that, Maui. She's not in tonight. She must be busy. We'll have a look. We'll have a bit of a sticky beak. Maui is currently an executive with a net worth just over 11 million UPX. She's got 457 properties and is pushing towards 7.5 Spark. Her home residence is in the Merced Manor neighbourhood of San Francisco, which you might remember was the first to achieve Community Neighbourhood Development Collection status in San Francisco. So let's go and have a bit of a sticky beak, a bit of a bo peep at what she's got going on. So I like this progress graph. Looks pretty good. There's a big jump up there. Look at that. From 131 to 318 properties. And then pretty linear growth after that. Fairly big jumps every now and then in the properties net worth. So she's bought something substantial there. And there was another big purchase here towards the end where the properties net worth pushed away from the mint net worth. So, I don't know. She got something going on. Right, let's move on and check her responses to the DMB questionnaire. In-game name Maui, Uplander since November 2020, so been around for a very long time. Been to Vegas? No. What do you do for a living? Shape young minds. Yes. I love it. I tell people what do I say? I mold brains or something like that. Yes. Guilty pleasure, milk chocolate. One thing you will never do again, master's degree. High five. Superpower, creativity. If you could start a charity, what would it be? Support for families of sick children. Nice one. Bucket list, Genesis Week 2025. Tattoos, no. Most common internet search history, family cars. Oh, cool. Celebrity, you know most about. Ryan Reynolds. Famous fact about where you live, founded by Viking King. Very cool. 3 Uplanders you chat with regularly. Laban, Co-Ninja, and SC Kicker 2022. Together they form the Ninjas. So, very cool. Thank you very much for getting involved there, Maui. And if you would like to get yourself involved, or you know somebody who the community might be interested in learning a bit more about, just like we did then with Maui, then send Mesme or any of the other DMB builders a DM, or click the link to the DMB Discord server in the description. Say good day and tell them the UDU podcast sent you. Now, as we're kind of wrapping up for a nice short show, I will give you a reminder that I have started in the production phase of starting a new podcast series, which I'll just share that now so you can get a squiz at that. So it's this one here. I put a video out, Upland Chronicles. There's a video there which goes into details of what that series is going to be all about, and in it, there's some information on how you can get involved in researching for the upcoming first episode, which is going to be focused on the 2018 to 2019 formation and conceptualization period. You don't have to have been around back then. I certainly wasn't. But if you do put a submission through to a different form that's there, you will go in the running for 250,000 UPX worth of prizes. Like I said, if you haven't got an entry in, why not? Do you hate UPX? It's pretty easy to do. I'll put a link to that in the description for this show as well, or you can get over and watch that video. It's in there. It's very simple jot form. Make sure you put your Upland name in, of course, otherwise you can't win a prize. Is there something in that period, the early formation period, that interests you? Do you know about that period? Do you know if something happened then? If you do, put it in there. And if you have any questions about it, you can drop it in there. There's another spot. And if there's any other thoughts, stories, or feedback about that period, drop it in there as well. Very, very easy to do. We'll just have a look at some of the submissions that have come through. So this is the back end that I can look at. So we've got 14 submissions so far. So pretty good chance there for the prizes. Lots of familiar names here. So let's have a look here. We'll look at Swarley. Let's see what Swarley says. Brexit upends British politics. This is kind of big news, especially if you're married to a POM. But if you mean Upland, I have no idea. It was very sadly and regrettable. 3 years late to the party. What happened there? Disappeared. If I could change one thing about my journey, it would be, hey, I don't own a DeLorean. All right. So that one, I can't do a lot with that one. What do you said here? I'm coming up on owning 100 properties in SF. I don't and most probably never will own any, but what was the requirement for the inaugural property collection? Yeah, there you go. That's the kind of stuff that we're looking for. Was it just the first day, week or month or something else? It would be pretty cool to say you minted one of these. I would never, ever sell it ever. Yeah. So that's kind of stuff there. And here's another question. Who was the very first player, not anyone connected to the Upland team, that you bought in and minted? That would be cool information. I'm guessing you OGs already know the answer. Well, there's a very interesting story behind that, actually. So, yeah, I already do know a bit of an answer there. So, yes, there's lots of little questions there that can get me started. I am going to kind of collate those within the MBA Discord server as well. So you'll be able to track that your entry is in. It has been collated for the giveaways. And I'll also put the questions there. Kind of, I guess it'll be kind of almost fact-checking for myself. So when I have a question come through, I'll research to find the answer, and then I'll put all my links and references and whatnot in there as well. So it kind of be as open and as transparent as I can. But yes, the more that you can get involved, that helps me. And then, like I said, pretty easy to get an entry in, and you might win yourself some kind of prize. Speaking away, giving away prizes, we might, before we do the weekly wheels, we might just find out what Swarley's got going on. If I do share screen on this, Swarley, you want to give us the heads up on what you got cooking?
All right, quite simply, at the end of the month, I'll be hitting my 2 years. Sadly, not 5 years, but 2 years in Upland. And I thought, why not do a bit of a giveaway or a celebration for a small milestone? So I'm going to give away 3 prizes. Now, if you head over to my Twitter account, you'll see the pin tweet or X or whatever it's called these days.
Yep.
With the details of how to enter and what the prizes are. So the first prize will be a South Lake Tahoe property with one of those, the second limited build or unique build, whatever it was, the one that you had to buy the pass for. So that'll be fully built and ready to go. So that'll be the first prize, and then second prize will be 20 Spark for 7 days, and third prize will be 10 Spark for 7 days. The reason why I've done that is obviously when I limited the last time I made it a little bit limited so I could have 3 winners and not use up all the Spark on people with apartments and stuff like that. This time it's open to anyone, so whether you've got El Slack and he's got a track that he's trying to get built, or you got an apartment or one of these new towers in Los Angeles that came out this week.
Yes.
Yep. Obviously I won't be able to max it out, or not necessarily max it out, but you're not limited to those. Obviously, if you've only got a micro house, obviously you're not going to get the full potential, but I'll still put as much on there as I can, up to that 10 or 20, depending on what you win, and see how we go from there, and leave it there for 7 days. So I'll do it during the show on the 25th of this month, which is Anzac Day for us Aussies and Kiwis, and then leave it there till the show the following week. So yeah, just head on over to Twitter. So like, repost, add in your in-game name and the build address that you want me to post to. So you need to chuck that in there. Otherwise, if you win and you don't have an address there, you're not going to get your Spark. Yeah, that's about it. So there's not too many limitations this time around.
Very good. Awesome. Yes, I just realised I commented, but I didn't put my in-game name and I didn't put a build address. So don't be a dickhead like me and make sure you do that. I'll follow up after the show to make sure I cover that base. If you are listening on the Spotify and you didn't see that, it's at Swarley129. Head on over to Twitter, see his pinned tweet, and just follow directions. And keep your ears out for how you can win. Thank you very much for that, Swarley. And let's give away some more stuff. This is the weekly challenge wheel. Now, last week's challenge was to get yourself in the NBA server. Let us know how you walked away from the April Fool's release of Bermuda. Did you laugh or did you cry? Or maybe you were indifferent to the entire thing. Share your story. So your name's going to roll on a list of all the entrants to win 10,000 UPX after fees. And, of course, get yourself another entry in the 2024 end-of-year prize giveaway draws. Let's see. Now, I am share screening this time. Yes, I am. All right. So I'm not scamming it. Let's see if Fueler Man can pick up another one. Called the Wheel of Fueler Man. No, he's missed out this week. Kevin Loader might have it. Or Plant Parrot. Kevin Loader's got it. Well done.
All right, I'll chuck his comment in the chat if you wanted it.
What's that?
Oh, his comment's in chat if you want to read it.
So he said, I thought for sure it was going to be an April Fool's joke, but still flew there when airport opened. I had a meeting at the opening, which I excused myself after 5 minutes to mint a property, but it was already minted out. I got no props, but got a badge. Right, thanks for posting that, Swarley. There is a bonus prize as well associated with that. So the bonus prize of 5,000 UPX after fees, I've given that this week to Livestar, aka Wild Jazzy Jasmine, whose comments seem to be a good reflection of many people's experiences. She said, I thought it was a joke, then travel was available, so I flew over just in case it wasn't a joke. She was out all day and had no fast Wi-Fi. Her Block Explorer was at first floating in the right direction, but nowhere near mintable properties during the release. So she sent to a property, but none of the green squares around could be minted. Then she got the circle loading thing and had to restart. By the time she got back in, everything was gone, and it was only 2 minutes later. Secondary market was crazy, so no Bermuda property for her. She said she wasted around 3K travel fees, but you've just got that all back with 5,000. So thanks for being involved, Jazz. And that's it. Pretty easy to do. So that was last week's challenge. This week's challenge, once again, get yourself into the contest channel within the NBA server. Drop a link to your Twitter or X profile and let us know your current Sparklet airdrop stats. You know, your X multiplier, the age of your account, number of followers, all of that stuff. If I get a few of those and I get some time, I might be able to, I don't know, put a graph or something together. If you're not taking part in any of that, of course, you can still get yourself an entry in and just let us know that it doesn't interest you. So maybe you can tell us why. So that's it. Get yourself in the NBA server, in the contest channel. How you going with the Sparklet airdrop? Let us know. Once again, your name will roll on a list of all entrants for the chance to win 10,000 UPX after fees and another entry in the big end-of-year prize draws. That brings us up to the last thing to do, and we're still on the share screen. Yes, perfect. Right, so
just before you do that, while we're still on Bermuda, I like Buman's stat. It says over 1,080 users got the badge. So that shows how many people headed on over there, even though no one was really sure whether it was going ahead or not, or whether you'd even end. Because a lot of people were speculating that you'd get on the plane and you might get lost and disappear for a day, or you might end up in a different city. So no one really knew what was going on.
That could have been a bit of fun, eh? Just zoink you somewhere else, or
make
your block disappear.
I've heard that some people say, you might end up in France and be able to mint there or something, and in Paris or something, but yeah.
The Thank Me Later and Too Stupid to Win had some nice ideas what should or could have happened to the block explorers. Like that, and you said you bought the plane and all don't land on Bermuda, but in another city which got opens, or your block explorer disappears for a few days, or the block explorer gets automatic burned, or there were some nice ideas which were talked in the communities and in the other podcasts as well. I think Too Stupid was the whole podcast season. Sure, it is a fool, and he argued and argued and argued. And Thank Me Later said, "Oh, I just try it again. I will go. sell all my properties to get Bermuda properties, and so on and so on.
Yeah. Yes, imagine the butthurt that would have went if your one Director Block Explorer got burnt. Jesus.
But some more conspiracy theories. Bittrex Global, a crypto platform, just moved to Bermuda.
There you go.
Coincidence.
Interesting. So
coincidence.
Sparklet's got to end up on some exchange at some stage.
Yeah, maybe on Bittrex Global, which is located in Bermuda. Maybe they get their own exchange building there or something like this. So the possibilities are endless.
What did we see during the week? Sorry to interrupt. Tycoin, which is the tycoon. I don't know. Women probably know more about it. Like I saw something about it mentioned on Base, and I think other people were mentioning it's on like Coinbase as their exchange. And I understood it to be Base chain, like not the actual exchange site. Do you know any much about that, people?
No, all I know they want to launch that coin and then start on Coinbase and use Coinbase to get them in and out. But they are walking on a small way because they need to keep sure they don't interfere with UPX and the earning potentials of Upland. Because if they go one step too near to that, maybe they get close their API connections from Upland. So they need to. It's regulatory stuff. But I think they start on Coinbase.
See, that's what I'm still a bit unsure about, because I thought it was the chain, not the actual. Because I know it's one and the same, kind of like Binance and the Binance Exchange, the Binance chain. But I thought it was just the chain that it was going to be on. But I hope I'm wrong and it is the exchange, because if Tycoin ends up on that exchange, and that's a layer 2 coin, how the hell is Spark not going to end up on there? And if that's the case, that's massive news. That will be huge. So that's what piqued my interest, because I saw other people mention Coinbase. I'm like, I don't think that's true. I don't think it is. I think it's just the chain, but kind of like, Binance with Pancake Swap or something like that. But, and it is a pretty hot chain at the moment, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, I guess. But I hope I'm wrong and it is the Coinbase, the exchange, because that would be massive. Absolutely massive.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised if it is. But yeah, I mean, it'd be a very pleasant surprise, put it that way.
100%.
Absolutely. All right, let's give away this last little bit and piece. So this is for our live participants. Your choice of a Samurai Aquatics Garden Breach or a Love Heart Jacuzzi. And that goes to another one. This collection going, Swarley. What would you like, mate?
No, do it again. Give it to...
No, come on.
I've won plenty.
Sell it. You could sell it. Make some money.
No. Yeah, that's okay. We'll work it out after stream.
Take it. Yeah. Take it and sell it.
Cool.
That's what
I might just do that.
Nice. All right, and that's it. That's all I've got to cover this week. As I said, it's a fairly slow news week. They usually drop news tomorrow, so who knows? Hopefully we get something. Lots of speculation about, of course, with Paris and all what stuff's going on there. Maybe it's going to be a new city release there. I've kind of bought into the hype of that a bit. As I said, I've stopped the USD funnel just to kind of get my savings back up there a little bit, so that if that is the case, then I'm well and truly prepared for it. Have to wait and see. Anyhow, make sure that you follow up on those couple of things. There's the QIPS form. There's a link in the description for that. Easy way to get yourself 10,000 UPX. And there's the JOT form as well. It'll be in the description. Pretty easy way to get your name in the running for 250,000 UPX as well. A reminder that if you are in a time zone that fits in with the Thursday night recording schedule of starting at 7 p.m. AEST and you'd like to get involved, the link to the weekly podcast is always dropped in the NBA server about 15 minutes before we kick off. And that invitation extends to any of the other podcast productions I do. I kind of haven't done one of the old Metaverse and Beyond podcasts for a while. I have got this weekend free, so I might put my thinking cap on and see if there's somebody I can tap on the shoulder last minute and have a chat with. So keep your eyes out for that one, see how it goes. Other than that, have a good week, behave yourselves, and we'll catch you later.